What does Minecraft need? Minecraft already has a lot of interesting features, but I, and you, and I'm going to speak for you, want more. We want more. So, what kind of change would you like to see? What would motivate you the most? Well, if you ask me, it needs more to reach for, more challenges, after or while entering the end, which is the biggest achievement today. So, what is more to reach for than crystals that delivers magic? Well, I do think there is a lot of people that would like to see crystals in the game, but not everyone has a clear idea of how, where to find them, and how they could be used in the game. I will come back to that soon. But first, I want to talk about what we got today and what we have to reach for in the different stadiums of the game. First of all, it's all about the wood. Wooden tools, soon to be a tiny wooden cabin. Everything is actually just about don't die. Anyways, of course the big thing in this stadium is to get diamonds, so you can gear up properly, but after a while, all of a sudden, you're rich and have no idea what to do about all your money anymore. In this stadium, you might want to upgrade your house. You, of course, have a chicken farm already. You start doing some enchantments, but still craving for that mending book. You find yourself a skeleton spawner, and has made a primitive looking farm out of that, to gather some few poor XP and some bone. You kidnap a villager and force him to sell you a mending book, because if not, he know he will die. After a lot of grinding, you finally get your book, and now you can move on with your life, finally. And then, you're going to hell. No, I'm just kidding. Of course you have been to the Nether already, raiding some fortresses, and died a lot, because you had embarrassing armor to wear. It happens a lot of things not worth mentioning ever again. The main reason that you even went to this place is because you needed some endrails, and of course, you wanted some quartz too. So, the big thing from this day is to get your hands on those ender pearls. That acquires some awake nights, running after those few endermen you can find. Sometimes they can be really hard. At least for me though. So now we are ready to get killed by the ender dragon. 5 times maybe, or 10. Maybe you even are that pro that don't die at all. Well, congrats to you. I'm not that good. But you didn't come here for nothing, did you? No. So if it weren't for the loot, like the purple block, you wouldn't even be here. And you kinda want the elytra too. And the shulker, that is really a game changer. And that is exactly what it is. Game changing. From now on, you can fly long distances. Everything is easy now. You can walk around with tons of items at the same time and everything. So what now? The game is still fun, very funny, don't get me wrong. But I want to use my newfound elytra to explore even more. Something that can make me go even further in this game. I want to find magic. Yeah, that's what I want. So what about this idea? Oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? Let's check it out. Is it? Is it magical powder? No, it can't be. Can it? Should I follow this? Is it a lead? It doesn't say anything about direction though. So I guess I should just fly around and look for the next clue or something. You should not be that far ahead. Oh! Oh! There is another one. Right there is another one. So that means it's either this direction or this direction. I'll try this one. Oh! Oh! What is that? That must be it. What I'm looking for. Let's explore it right now. This is made all out of quartz materials. And there is a hole. Okay, it seems like I need to jump to get down there. Well, let's take a leap of faith. Hope I don't die! Oh, I'm fine. Oh, okay. So what kind of place is this? It looks like there is a portal right there. Yeah, it does. How do I get into this? I need to light it up, but how? I don't think it can be the flint and steel only. That would be boring. Let's take a look at what's in the chest then. Of course, it acquires magical powder to light this thing up. And you have to have been to the end to get to this place, because it also acquires an end rod, because you are not supposed to get to this place before you have been to the end. I did found 2 powder on my way here, and 1 in this chest, and I might need some more, maybe 8 of them. That means I need to find more of these structures to find more powder, or unless there is another way. I don't want this game to be too easy, and I really like to walk around and look for things, like with the treasure hunt, only without knowing where you will find your treasure. There is actually no way to get out of here, so let's try to fly. I can't fly directly from the water pit, so oh, okay. Hey, there's a diamond block up there. Yeah, okay, I got out. So given that you don't know where to find it, the excitement when you do find it. The magical dust that is spawning randomly on the ground. Let us say that there is a 10% chance of finding it in each biome, or even more difficult than that. To get the magical powder, you need to craft up 4 of these. If the dust spawning was more frequent, we could say 9, but with the 10% each biome, 4 could be hard enough. So after flying around, walking around, looking for the dust, I can now finally craft up the wand. Yeah, I do think this is it. It must be. So let's try to light this thing up and go into this dimension or whatever it is. Oh wow! We are here! A floating island. Similar to the end actually. You will die if you fall off the land. And there is also magical dust all around this place that you can actually use as an ingredient for brewing later. So there is a reason to collect it. And there is a crystal right there. There are more of these around here. But the most important thing about this place is a castle right over there. That is the main attraction of this dimension. Besides that, this is the only place you can find cherry blossom trees. That is also something that I really want to have in the game. Let's fly over the castle, that I don't dare to walk into just yet. Because there's a giant living in there, and some other mobs too, the giant's little workers. Every dimension needs mobs. In this place, there is a giant that you need to kill, and that is actually something you need to do every time you find one of these castles. It is a big distance between these castles, but when you find one, you need to defeat yet another giant. When you have done that, you can make a farm to get your hands on more of those crystals. Of course, you need to be able to farm it. I know that some of you might think that the crystals should be found in caves in the regular world, because that is more logical. It is. But hey, magic is not logical in general. And besides, that would be less interesting to me, because then you will be able to find crystal from the start. Even though they would be rare to find, it would be too much benefits from the get-go. And speaking of benefits, what properties should crystals have? First of all, in my opinion, they should be placeable and have some features that makes them interesting to have, other than just being good looking, you know? So this is some ideas I have for usage of the crystals. The black crystal prevents mobs from spawning at an area of 15 by 15 blocks. And this one I find the most interesting. This is actually the reason why I even made this whole video. This crystal is giving you some sort of solution to the lightning issues that Minecraft has. You need to light up everything only to prevent creepers blowing up your areas, and sometimes you just don't want to light up your build. Maybe you want things to look a little mysterious and spooky, and then this one could be perfect. I sometimes want my build to have some soothing lighting in some areas, but this crystal should not be easy to get. This should be the rarest one of the crystals, so you can't just spam it everywhere and make your town look way too dark, unless you want it to be a spooky town. You have to be selective about where you choose to place the black crystal, that's my point. And for the other crystals, the ideas are more random, but this is what I have come up with. The white crystal makes the hunger bar 50% less used within 15 by 15 blocks. It can be useful, for example, if you are AFK or something similar, are surrounded by mobs often in one certain place. Let's move on. Blue crystal makes you invisible within 15 by 15 block. Can be useful if you want to be invisible in 1 or 2 certain places. Maybe you want to be invisible for other mobs or players, but when they see the crystal they will understand that something is up. The red crystal makes you unable to die within 15 by 15 blocks. Let us say you made a minigame where the game is not about not dying, but you can still die. This can be useful. The yellow crystal makes 50% more passive mobs spawn in an area of 15 by 15 blocks. Great for farming passive mobs. I don't necessarily think that the developers would like this one, because it wouldn't make the game more ethical, but maybe it could be some other great function to this as well, other than killing passive mobs. Pink crystal doubles the breeding frequency. This is also related to passive mob farming and the slaughter of them, but anyways. But let's very quickly look at the powder and dust as well. This is, as I mentioned, used to craft up the wand, but it can also be used as a brewing ingredient of, for example, super jump potion, super duper speed, kinda like an add-on to the existing ones. It could also be used in crafting recipes for cool stuff that aren't even added yet. For example, super traveling, that is highly expensive, but like rails that you need to place to travel really fast. But all of this must be another video itself. So this brings me to the last question of this video. What function would you like to see the crystals have? You have any cool ideas?